Sri Akal ji, welcome to the new Alcohol and Beyond show here at Alcohol Town. Today we have got special guests on. As we know, in the community we have got a huge dependency on alcoholism. Especially now with ladies, the issue has got to the point where people are hiding away, people are leaving home, people are getting divorced, there are separations happening. There are so many things, and lives are being destroyed by this substance that is totally legal for anybody to buy. So on today's guest, I've got there's two guests on who want to remain anonymous, purely for the reason, again, because of derogatory terms that may be used against them, the stigma attached to it, what the families would say. This is the problem that we're trying to combat at the moment. The whole problem in our community is that we're hiding away from an issue that we publicly allow, yet when it goes wrong, we're not even accessing the right facilities and help to alleviate the problem. Welcome to the show. Just briefly, I mean, your journey when you began alcohol, and did you when did you actually start drinking?
I started drinking, it was just socially when I was in college, and that was around the age of 19, 20 years old, and I started quite late drinking, but when we started drinking it was just casual, always normal sessions and with all the friends, parties, gigs and stuff like that. That's when I started drinking, and that was it. Otherwise from home life or anything like that we never used to drink or anything like that, we weren't allowed.
No. I just thought we don't did that nyane ajkal ta sare pinde hi hai na, you know, socially jehda marji ghar hoਵੇ ਕੋਈ ਘੱਟ ਹੀ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਪਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਹਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਪਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੀ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ ਸੀਗੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ
ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਆਲਰਾਈਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ एजुकेटेड फैमिली तो बिलोंग करती हैं कि उस तो पता है कि बच्चे चल अपना इंजॉयमेंट करते हैं दैट्स वाई मैं है ना वैसे स्टॉप तो करती सी डोंट लाइक इट पर फिर भी पता सीगा कि माहौल ही आजकल का इस तरह का कि बच्चे जो इंजॉय करते चलो अपना एक लिया अपना इंजॉय किया हो राइट है पर आफ्टर दैन जिदा मैरिज हो गया फिर टू मच हो गया टू मच किया दैट्स वाई आई डोंट लाइक इट एंड
with yourself, I mean, you started when you were at college and obviously increased from there. You know, did you find that drinking with your friends, they were doing it a bit more and it started to get more excessive? Did you start to sort of attract, you know, like say your vibe attacks your tribe type of thing? Were you starting to hang around with those type of people? What made it get to a point where you started drinking to the point where you were sort of doing it every other day, or how did it begin?
Back in college days when we were drinking, it was never something that appealed to me at all. I was probably one of the last students that started drinking. During that time, lots of people used to go out drinking, taking time off lessons. I was the only one that never used to bother with that. So it was never appealing to me. I didn't follow anyone, go around with anybody that was drinking too much. It was a very social thing for me. Birthday parties, I'd go for half an hour after college or something, come straight back home. But it started getting excessive when I was with my ex-partner and started experiencing problems in that relationship.
Right. And did you actually start using alcohol as a crutch, as like a bit of bravery, give you a bit more, or was it you used alcohol as a suppressant to, because you were feeling low, you thought if I have a drink it's going to make it better?
Not at that point. At that point I was more forced to drink alcohol, as my ex drank quite a lot and he expected me to do the same. It was quite a violent relationship as well and there was a lot going on, so just to keep him happy when he was going out having drinks, he would buy me a drink, I would have it, and it was more intimidating than anything that I was actually enjoying doing myself. Okay. And then slowly I did actually not get addicted but felt the need for it, and that's where it started initially, but after I did come off it totally, and then it started again after.
Domestic violence and alcohol has a big relationship in our community. Now, when you're talking about verbal abuse, domestic violence, etc., how did you cope with that? I mean, was it a case of when the other person was in the mood to go for a drink, did you feel compelled to join in and go with it, or?
I wasn't compelled. I think it was more force to join him. He wanted to take me everywhere with him, show me off, this is my missus, this and that, and he just wanted me to drink, and he would make me drink, just so that I would be in the mood, to have a laugh with his boys and his girls. Because I was never that kind of person that wanted to go out and socialise. I was more so I just wanted to stay at home and just relax. I had my own child with him as well, so I was more so concerned about my own child, and even having to leave him at home just to make sure that my child was safe from my ex at that point.
ਅੱਛਾ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਇਹਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈਆਂ?
ਨਾ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਐਂਡ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਾਊਸ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ
this is what we're talking about. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਡਿਨਾਇਲ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਲੁਕੋ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਾਣ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਣ ਮਾਰਦਾ, ਇਹ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਆ। ਇਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਪੀਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? Now, going on from that, how did you feel about, did you break away from that relationship? Well, how, it must have been very, very difficult for you to be, you use the word forced. I mean, most people probably watching are saying nobody can force you to drink, nobody can force you to do this, nobody can force you to do that. And in what way, when you say forced, was it, explain a bit more about the force part.
It was more so, I think nobody would understand unless you actually go through that scenario yourself, but it was more so he would say, here, have it, drink it, and just to keep the peace at that place, because he wouldn't look around to see if he was going to have an argument or if he was going to hit anybody. He would not think twice. Right. So it was more so if he'd say, have it, I'd just sit there and I'd have it, just to keep the peace and not make a fool of ourselves in the environment that we were in.
Did you ever get intoxicated? Obviously, because when you're drinking, it's a mood-altering substance. Did you ever feel the need to say to him, you know what, I don't want to do this?
I think more so out of fear for my son, I stayed quiet. There was many occasions where we have had the arguments, and his family have had to hold him back from any kind of physical violence, anything like that, but other than that, yeah, we did have conversations, but it wasn't anything that I was going to win in. More so, my son was more important, protecting him and making sure he does not get hurt, because my ex would not think twice if he touched anyone.
So am I right in saying that because your ex-partner was a heavy, let's say, well, hypothetically, I don't know.
Alcoholic, I would say.
Okay, you used the word alcoholic. He was drinking so excessively that you were actually keeping up with his levels of drinking?
No, I wasn't actually. Even if he would give me a drink, if I could find anything near me to put it in, I'd put it in there. And it didn't really appeal to me, even at home, if he was drinking. Yeah. If he'd poured me a drink and he'd gone inside, half of that would go down the sink, and I'd drink a little bit and sips in front of him, but I would never really finish the full drink.
Right. But you obviously got a taste for it, and it got to a point where, obviously, in your eyes, it was like a social level. As you can appreciate, I mean, me being a recovering alcoholic, I know myself that we start sitting around and attracting the sort of people that we want to sit with because they're doing the same behaviours, the same patterns as what we do. Now, I understand where you're coming from, that you try to keep the levels down, but you were still having to drink it in front of. Was this all happening in front of the children? Because that must have a big impact on a child as well.
Well, he was too young to understand at that point. When I left my ex, my son was only 1 year old, and at that point when all this was going on, he was too young to understand what was going on as it is.
Did you feel compelled?
Oh, at first I did. I felt I did. After, as you were talking about getting a taste of it, I didn't at first, but then at one point my ex got locked up, and he was in prison for about a year. That's when I turned to it more, and that's when I actually felt like I needed it.
So this is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
this is where it becomes a crutch. It becomes something that you use to make you feel better, because it actually lifts your spirits. But alcohol in itself is a depressant. When you come back off it, all you want to do is feel that high again. This is where dependency starts.
With me, it was more elevated. I was elevated the fact that I didn't have my ex there, so I was a bit more free, and I didn't have that responsibility or that fear of him. So I think that's when I just hit it more, because I started enjoying life more.
Yeah.
And I think.
And how long did this go on for?
Not very long, to be honest with you. I was with my ex for a couple of years before I had my son, and then after I left him, it wasn't for very long, but I would say approximately 3 years. I was going through that, but only for like 4 months I was actually on alcohol quite a bit.
Were you living alone then?
I was living with my ex and his family.
Right, okay. And in that family, would you say, was it another household where it's socially acceptable to be, you know, to be drinking, and it's not a big issue, or?
Well, the mother didn't like it very much. The father-in-law was a full-on alcoholic. He couldn't live without alcohol at all. I mean, waking up first thing in the morning, he would be shaking so badly. He'd have the shakes, all the symptoms of an alcoholic, and he would have to drink as super kestrels, I think he used to have around, as much as he can get down him,
right,
just to stabilise himself. The mother didn't agree with it. The children were just moderate drinkers, just socially as well.
Right.
And we used to here and there go upstairs in the bedroom and just all of us sit together, have a little drink together, without the mother alone knowing, but it wasn't anything that was totally against their family.
Okay. Right, okay. And just don't know, but I want to see by father-in-law, by alcoholic, by ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਡਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਭਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਭਈ ਕੋਈ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਪੈ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ?
ਫਸਟ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿ ਫਸਟ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਥਿੰਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਹਦਾ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਅਸੀਂ pre-record ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦੱਸਣੀ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ, for the viewers, if you want to have a look at this young lady's story, and it will be an eye-opener, and hopefully Alcohol and Beyond can also help you.
I would like to remain anonymous. I would like to just express my concerns about alcohol dependency, which is a journey that I have been through. I received help through Alcohol and Beyond, and I would just like to get awareness out there, especially for Asian women. And basically, from a young age, I've been brought up in a good family background. I've had a very good education. Unfortunately, around the age of 12 years old, my parents got divorced. That affected me quite a bit. During college times, everything was fine until we started drinking, but that was always social. Eventually, I met with my partner. After about 12 years, we got married. Problems after marriage caused me to start from social drinking quite heavily. I was literally from half a bottle every day, went up to a 70cl every day, and then up to a litre even, which I could get through in a day and even need more. I actually became dependent on alcohol, and I had nobody to turn to, especially being Asian. I couldn't speak to anybody in the family. I had no support from anybody. I was quite ashamed of telling my husband's side of the family, or even my own mother, because her own mother's divorced. I didn't want to put any stress on her. Having problems with my mother-in-law triggered more for me to actually start drinking even more, down to the level I would actually go out and buy alcohol and hide it from the whole family and be drinking inside the bedroom on my own. That was from every hour turned into every half an hour to every 15 minutes even, throughout stress. But it just made me feel much better, like I could carry on throughout the day when I felt low or weak, enough not to do anything. It affected my relationship with my husband very badly, affected my relationship with my father-in-law, who I was very close with as well. They did speak to me because my father-in-law did realise I had an alcohol problem, but nobody really pushed me enough, and I didn't feel as if I had enough support for them to actually get me through the dependency that I had, because I knew what level I was on. It was such a high level that I was on. I could not literally live without it. I used to go to sleep about 2 o'clock in the morning after having quite a lot to drink, wake up about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would have the shakes really badly, palpitations, claustrophobia, just could not be in the dark. And then I would crave the alcohol. My body would really crave the alcohol, and I couldn't think straight. I used to have to get up really quietly and go into another room where I'd have an alcohol bottle hidden. I'd pour myself a really strong shot, and I'd have that, and then I'd be able to relax. Palpitations would calm down. I would feel much better just sitting in the light and sitting on my own. And then after that, that's the way it always was, even down to dropping my son off to school. I would be intoxicated most of the time, and thank God nothing bad happened, but which could have done to anybody and my son as well. But that was the level I was at. I would have to have it every morning, and then as soon as I would get back, that was the only thing I would look forward to. Social life as well was affected really badly. I've got a very big social group of friends, and I stopped seeing everybody. Down to everyone used to contact me, birthday parties, weddings, anything, just social events, going out as we used to. We used to have social drinks, have people around, barbecues, all that kind of stuff. Everything stopped. My husband would go. He'd try and force me to go, but I just knew I had the bottle at home, so I didn't want to go anywhere else. And also just the worry that I could make a fool of myself, my family and my husband if I did get into a state, because I did drink quite heavily, and sometimes I didn't realise what I was saying or doing. So I'm not really in contact with most of the friends. At the moment I'm in the recovery process, so I am trying to avoid speaking to my friends as I recover. And it has been approximately now just over 10 days that I have been clean with the detoxification which I've received through Alcohol and Beyond. I think if it wasn't for Alcohol and Beyond, basically my mum made me refer to her job, who referred me to Harvey from Alcohol and Beyond, and Harvey came to see me. And I believe totally that they have saved me from something happening really bad to me in the future, because I don't think I would have made it till the end of the year the way I was drinking. And they have helped me so much, especially knowing that being an Asian woman, it was hard for me to turn for help, but they didn't make me feel any different to a male drinking. And this is where the problem lies. There's so many Asian women out there who've probably got the same problem as I have, but just don't know who to turn to. One, because of shame, the other because the way people talk in Asian communities, they just don't understand. They just expect it to be a male thing, that males drink, women are in the kitchen, that women can't actually have that problem. Whereas that was the same thing with me. Nobody expected me to actually get to that level. And I just like to put the awareness out there that there is a help out there. Alcohol and Beyond is one place where I have not felt uncomfortable at all. And considering Harvey has been through the same thing that I've been through, it was easier to talk to him than it was to talk to any other counsellor, which I've been referred to in the past. Sitting in front of somebody that doesn't understand and has not been through what you've been through. With Harvey, I knew he'd been through it. I could just see in his eyes that he would push me enough to make sure I get through it. At one point during treatment, I did relapse. I had upset quite a few people that were trying to help me at that point, including Harvey. From that experience, I just had it inside me that I'm not going to do that again, and I will get over this. And since then, once I was breathalyzed, every single time it's come up as 0. I've kept clean, just carried on with my detox. My detox is finished at the moment. I'm just carrying on with medication to keep the cravings away. I feel much better in myself, much more healthier. I can think straight. I know what I'm saying, because before sometimes I would talk about things, repeat myself all the time, not even know well, I could understand what I was saying, but nobody else would understand me. And it was just a vicious circle, and I'm just really happy that I've got the help that I have had. And I would like to say to any Asian women out there, or anybody that is going through the same thing, or has anybody that they know that is having the same problem, please do turn to Alcohol and Beyond and get some help and advice, because they will help you, and it's all confidential. And that's my story. My drinking problem affected my family quite badly. It affected relationships with my husband. Whereas I did put alcohol in front of him. Whereas he used to want to spend time with him after coming back from work, but I always needed an excuse to go and get another bottle because I knew I was low on it. I used to come out with excuses just to go down to the shops, get a bottle. Then I used to, because I knew I couldn't drink inside the house, and I'd had the shake so badly, I used to have to make excuses just to go down to the shop or just say I need to put petrol in, or I'm going to see my mum. I used to drive down, get a bottle, and I used to sit somewhere just a little bit further away from the house and drink alcohol in the car so nobody would realise, and obviously after a couple of minutes it would take effect, and I used to feel much better, not have the shakes, and to myself believe that nobody would know that I've had a drink, although they could probably tell most of the time. Husband at the moment says that he still doesn't believe that I've had a problem with alcohol, whereas with my mother it affected my mother really badly, whereas because my mother-in-law, father-in-law and my husband in the end just gave up because they realised the alcohol problem was so bad that they packed all my stuff and dropped me back off at my mum's house. And it affected my mum really badly, being a single parent herself since I was 12 years old. Her being divorced, been through a lot of problems. She also had to deal with me coming back home. And then she was aware that I used to go to the car, every other excuse I could use just to get to the car and get the bottle out, have a couple of shots and then come back in. She was always aware that I've had the drink, and I could always see how upset she was. There was a lot of arguments with my sisters especially, who kept saying they were really ashamed of me, but they couldn't understand how hard it was for me to actually stop without the help. I recalled I had a lot of abuse, to put it that way, from my sisters, being called an alcoholic, an embarrassment to the family, and it really hurt, and that would give me another excuse just to go outside and have a couple more shots and go and buy another bottle and just keep it to a side. It was down to waiting till everyone was asleep so I can get out of the house, and it could be like 1 o'clock in the morning. I would drive down to a petrol station or anywhere where I can get alcohol and get that in the house while everyone's asleep so nobody would know. It really did affect relationship really badly with all of my family. I know how badly I've affected everybody, even down to my son, who picks up on everything. He's a 10-year-old and he understands everything. He just doesn't say anything, but I can see how hurt he gets when he sees me with the shakes. Giving him food, the way my hands used to shake, he used to watch me and ask me, "Mummy, what's wrong with you? Why are your hands shaking?" And it was quite upsetting to see that. And then he's seen me arguing as much as I can once I've had a drink. Sometimes argument was so unnecessary, it had nothing to do with anything that was going on. I would start an argument with my husband, and my son would be next door listening to the argument, not understanding what's going on. And he's seen the bottles as well, here and there, which I used to have to try to hide, but couldn't always hide, and he always knew that there was a problem. He's been concerned. You could tell it's changed him a little bit as well towards me. He had a bit of resentment, and he's, in that sense, got a little bit closer to my sisters and started distancing himself from myself. Now I'm starting to get that relationship back with him, since I can see a bit more sense now. And life is much better now with the family. My mum is very happy with the help that she's had with me recovering at the moment. She's been fully supportive with me, and I'm just looking to the future at the moment, and just do not want to relapse. Just want to carry on with this detox and make sure I can help myself just get better for my family's sake, and also just to help others realise how bad this problem is. I remember being just feeling so alone all the time, just keeping myself locked away in the bedroom. I would go downstairs, do the work I had to do. That was obviously under the influence of alcohol. And I would go downstairs. That's the only energy I actually had and drive to do anything, with the cooking and cleaning, making sure everything was done before my mother-in-law got home, and who mainly did cause the problems that caused me to carry on drinking more than I used to. Anxiety levels used to be really bad. I would just get all the work done as much as I could, and just go upstairs, retreat to my bedroom, and I would isolate myself throughout the whole day, not come downstairs at all. It was down to I would not even eat anything. Throughout the day, I could get through a litre bottle, and all I would eat during that time, I'm a vegetarian as well, I would probably eat a handful of grapes and perhaps an orange or an apple, and that was it. That was my food throughout the whole day. So as this got worse after marriage, at marriage I was like a size 10 to 12 on a Cambridge diet just for my wedding, and just after the wedding, after I started drinking so badly, I am now a size 6 to 8, and that's just because of just feeding myself the alcohol and not thinking about eating food or my health. At various times I did try to turn for help. It's when I was sitting alone in my room, I had nobody at home, I had nobody to talk to, I felt so alone. I used to just cry because I didn't know where to get the help from. The anxiety used to be so bad, and it was down to having to just sometimes having to walk out the house. I just stand there just to feel a bit of space and freedom, and just not being able to be in the house. Even in the dark, as soon as it started getting to evening, I used to start panicking, having panic attacks. I did try seeking help. I did go through my GP. It was just every single time I went to see my GP, they would ask if there was any underlying problem towards my depression and anxiety, which I knew was obviously caused throughout the alcohol. It was at the tip of my tongue every single time. I would want to tell the doctor, but I could not bring myself to say anything. That's how embarrassed I felt. And also, the doctor being Asian, I just didn't want to be judged for the alcohol problem that I had. And then at the same time, I would always have somebody with me, especially my mother-in-law, who would want to know exactly what was going on, so she would be present all the time. So I couldn't speak about it. I did actually end up vomiting one morning, and I was vomiting blood. So, still being under the influence of alcohol, I drove to the hospital. Parked away from the hospital and went to A&E. They took me in straight away, and I had to stay in for 2 days. And even then, the doctors were aware of my problem, although they didn't exactly put it in their own words and state that I've got an alcohol problem. But I was on drips continuously for 2 nights, one after the other, and I had to hide all that from my husband as well, which was the most difficult part, because I didn't want my husband to know that I was alcohol dependent at that point. Hospital visits, it's been about twice that I've had that, and nothing seemed to help. I would go back home, I'd feel okay for about a day, and then I'd think, I feel better, that I don't need to have any more alcohol. But then I thought, okay, I feel better, I could probably just have one drink, just one shot, and I'll be fine. I'd have that one, and from that one it would lead to another, and then the circle would start again. I would start having that same amount of alcohol again, and always went back to square one. And then eventually I did decide that I had to get the help, because I knew how bad I was, and I'm glad I've got the help now, because I'm off it, and I just hope to be strong enough to carry on with the support of Harvey and Alcohol Beyond. Also, as a result of my alcohol dependency, I've lost almost up to 10 years service of my job that I had with the NHS. Basically working nights and obviously being dependent on alcohol. Coming home from work at 7 o'clock in the morning, I would start drinking straight away after working a night, and then probably drink throughout the day, and then do the housework, get the cooking done, and then have another couple of shots, go to sleep, and I would probably literally get not even 4 to 5 hours sleep. And once I would wake up, I'd have the shakes, I'd need another drink again, although I knew I had to go to work. I would have more alcohol and try and get about another hour's sleep or so, and then I would be drained by the time I'd got to work. I used to drive to work, which was approximately half an hour drive, and working nights I used to start at approximately 10 o'clock and finish at 7 in the morning, so it was a struggle. And then getting back home and that craving for the alcohol again, having the alcohol, then the same circle again, dropping my son off to school, getting the housework done and everything like that. And I've lost my service due to the alcohol, calling in sick, most of the time, because I'd had so much, I knew I couldn't actually function at work, whereas I had quite a responsible job. So calling in sick all the time, that didn't give a very good reputation towards my employment at that point. So yes, I ended up losing my job, and that was all due to alcohol.
Welcome back. As you've just seen, the story of this young lady's journey of alcohol. As you can appreciate, this can happen to anybody. कोई भी घर बैठा तुसी देखदे होने हुण जानदा होना तुहानू कोई आंढ गुआंढ रिश्तेदार कोई फैमिली मैंबर कोई भी हो सकता है जिहड़ा इदां दी सिचुएशन च हैगा मेल होवे फीमेल होवे. Going back to yourself again, I mean, looking at you, going through your interview, you ended up in a sort of a second relationship.
That's correct, yeah.
When did you realise that the period that you've had on your own with the alcohol, you did now attract somebody who was doing the same thing that you'd been doing? Because you were drinking, you attracted the same sort of person, and the pattern of your life changed, and you started doing it more excessively.
I don't really see it in that way, to be honest with you. The way I see it is, I got used to drinking alcohol, obviously, once I left my ex. When I met my current partner, who's my husband at the moment, it was more, I think just really every night we'd have 70cl vodka every single night. I think it was, he'd pick me up from work, we'd get a bottle and then just sit in the car and we'd go through one at least 70cl.
Okay.
And that was like, it just became enjoyable and it just became a pattern, so every single night.
It becomes a habit.
Yeah.
It becomes a dependency.
Yeah.
It becomes something that you, most people will come back from work and they'll, I don't know, feed the kids or hoover the house, but it became a pattern where you would sort of sit in a car.
Yeah, we'd get the alcohol and then sit down and just socially have a chat. It was just enjoyable, and I think it just became something that started happening every single night after that.
And how long did that go on for?
It went on for at least a year and a half to 2 years, but it wasn't something that had to happen every single night. It was something that would happen 3 times a week.
Okay. I'm going to ask you quite frankly and quite straight.
Yeah.
When did you realise that you got up in the morning and you had to have a drink because you were shaking like your ex, his father-in-law?
That was after marriage. Just after marriage.
And how long had you been drinking, let's say, that half of a 70cl bottle? 70cl bottle जी हुंदी है जिहड़ी लीटर तो एक साइज थल्ले हुंदी है ਇਹੋ ਤੇ ਇਹਦਾ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਗੱਡੀ ਚ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ? How long did that, ਉਹ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ?
I would say approximately a year and a half. That was generally in the car, and then as we started to see each other more, I started getting comfortable going to their house, and then we'd probably led to a litre after that, because it was in a comfortable environment where we all had our friends there, and it just led to more from there. But when it actually became the addiction and I realised myself I was dependent was literally after marriage.
Right, okay. आंटी ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਭਈ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹੋ ਹੁਣ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਡਰਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਆ ਭਈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਵਾ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਪੀਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਡ ਪੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਕੰਬਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨੀ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਭਈ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ?
Yeah, I know ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਡਰਿੰਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਮੈਰਿਜ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਇਹਦੀ ਮਦਰ ਇਨ-ਲੋ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅਲਕੋਹਲਿਕ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਹਰਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਲਕੋਹਲਿਕ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਤਾਂ 9 ਈਅਰ ਇਹਨੇ ਜੋਬ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਨਾਈਟ ਸ਼ਿਫਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਔਰ ਇਵਨਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਅਲਕੋਹਲਿਕ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ? ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵੀ NHS ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਜੋਬ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਇਹੋ ਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਨਾ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਆਈ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਐਲਕੋਹਲਿਕ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਨਾ, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸਿਵ ਇਲਨੈਸ। ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸਿਵ ਇਲਨੈਸ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਭਈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹ ਆਪ ਖੁਦ ਹੁਣ ਆਪ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਹਟੀ ਭਈ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਜਾਣੇ ਅੱਧੀ ਬੋਤਲ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਅੱਧੀ ਬੋਤਲ ਚਲ ਗਈ ਲੀਟਰ ਬੋਤਲ ਤੇ, ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੌਣੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਫਿਰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ, ਹੈ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਵਧੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਵੱਧਦੇ ਆ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਓਨਾ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ। ਫਿਰ going back to you, I remember speaking to you even prior to your interview. I understand that even with your current partner, he gave up on you and basically packed, from what you told me, packed black bags, took you back to your mum's, through the door and said, well, you know, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਖਣੀ ਤੇ ਆਲੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਸੰਭੋ।
ਯਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਖੁਦ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮਮ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੁੱਕ ਆਫਟਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਡਰਿੰਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਥਰੋ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਤਾ, ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਨਾ।
ਮਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਛੱਡਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਮੰਗੀ ਪਈ?
ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਅਲਕੋਹਲਿਕ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਇਹ ਡਰਿੰਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਟੂ ਮਚ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਡਰਿੰਕ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮਦਰ ਇਨ ਲੋ। ਤਾਂ ਆਫਟਰ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੀ ਵੀ ਸੀਗੀ। ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਾਵੀ ਦਾ, ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਲਪ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਧਰੋਂ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਨੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਦਵਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਕਿ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਟੀਵੀ 'ਤੇ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਨੀ, ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਬਣਾਏਂਗੀ ਫਿਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਗਨੋਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹੀ, ਨੋ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਇਟ, ਨੋ। ਮੇਰੇ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਵਨ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਰਕਲ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਕਿ
ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਮਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਐਲਕੋਹਲਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ। ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਡਿਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਪੀਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਟ ਕੇ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਾ ਲੱਗੇ। ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਟੋਲਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਪੈਸਿਟੀ ਵਧੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਲਕੋਹਲ ਬਿਯੋਂਡ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ। ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਮੰਗੀ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਜਵਾਬ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੁੜ?
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੇਮ ਡੇ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਨਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਜੇ ਮੰਨੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਬਣਾ ਲਿਆ ਕਿ 2 ਵੀਕਸ 3 ਵੀਕਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਐਵਰੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਇਵਨਿੰਗ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਰਟੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਬੇਟਾ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਹੈਲਪ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ, ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਾ।
ਇਹ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਸੀ?
ਜਾਂ ਪਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਸ਼ਾਮ ਤੱਕ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀ। ਬਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਲਕੋਹਲ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਬੋਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਬੋਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਐਸੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਏਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਇੱਕ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਪੀ, ਤੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਗੁੱਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਬੋਦਰ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੀਣੀ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਦੇਖ ਬੇਟਾ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹਨੀ ਆ ਚੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ, ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਥਰੋ ਅਵੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ, ਤੇਰੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਨੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਮਦਰ ਇਨ ਲੋ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਦੇਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ, ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਲੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ, ਪਰ ਤੂੰ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ 2 ਜਾਣਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਹਰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹੈ, ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਫਾਊਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ। ਤੇ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਵੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਸੌਰਟ ਆਊਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਫਿਰ ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਓ ਕੰਨ 'ਚ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਓ ਦੀ ਐਂਡ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਗੱਲ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੈ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ। ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੰਨ ਗਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਓਕੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦੀ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਵੀ ਐਵਰੀਵਨ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਸਫਰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਪਸੈਟ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੇ। ਸਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਡਾਂਟਦੇ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਟੱਪ ਕਰੇ ਪਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਪੀਣੀ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਡਾਂਟੀ ਜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਏ ਡੋਂਟ ਬੋਦਰ। ਆਫਟਰ ਦੈਨ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਫਟਰਨੂਨ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਸਟੱਪ ਕਰਨਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਓਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਹਾਵੀ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਾਊਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇ। ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਐਵਰੀ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ 'ਤੇ ਵੀਕ 'ਚ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਟਵਾਈਸ ਆਪਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਕੋਲ ਫਾਊਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੇਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਆਏ alcohol ਬਿਆਨ ਘੰਟੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਯਾ ਆਈ ਨੋ
ਸਟ੍ਰੇਟ ਅਵੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਾਲਤ you were in a very, very bad way. You were delusional, you were, you know,
I don't remember anything.
You don't remember anything at all?
I don't remember anything.
Obviously, we sorted out your services and got them done within 36 hours.
Yeah.
And you've been in treatment for over 4 months and now you're clean?
Yeah.
Yeah? ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਊਅਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੀ।
ਮੈਂ ਥੈਂਕਸਫੁਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਔਰ ਹਾਵੀ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਹਿਣ ਲਈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਹੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਈਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਰੇਵ ਇਨਫ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ 'ਤੇ ਇਹੋ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਲੋਕ ਇੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬਰਮਿੰਗਮ ਹੋਵੇ ਲੰਡਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਮੈਨਚੈਸਟਰ ਸਕਾਟਲੈਂਡ ਲੋਕੀ ਘਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਬੈਠਦੇ ਆ ਪਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹਸਬੈਂਡਸ ਵਾਈਫਸ ਇੰਨੇ ਫਸੇ ਹੋਏ alcoholism ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਟ there is a way out। ਇਹਦੀ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਇਹਦੀ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਚੁੱਕੋ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਆ ਈਮੇਲ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਰੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ we do rehabilitation solutions। rehab ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ rehab ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਸੇ ਹੀ ਥਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣਾ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਏ ਆ। ਇਹਦਾ rehab ਦਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿਤੇ ਕਿ ਭੇਜੋ hospitalize ਕਰੋ। is rehabilitation is returning you to the original state of mind and all I can say to you is that you are not alone and as you can see from our guests here happy family ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਹੋ ਗਈ।
Yeah.
Huh?
Definitely.
Okay. Is there anything like you'd like to say to?
All I can say is that if anybody is in the same situation that I was in, then the best thing to do is definitely reach out for help and save your own life, because I know if I hadn't gone for the help that I've received from Alcohol Behind, I probably would be dead right now. I don't think I would have had much chance to live.
Right, we've come to the end of the show. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸੁਣ ਲਈ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਆ ਭਈ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਨੇਗੇ ਇਹੋ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆ। ਰੀਹੈਬਿਲਿਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ alcohol and beyond ਸਾਡੀ ਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਭਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਉਜਾੜ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ alcohol ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਜੋੜੀਏ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰੀਏ ਭਈ ਇਹੋ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੋਗ ਲੱਗਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮੁਕਾਈਏ। You just got to remember you are not alone। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।